And welcome back. We're back now with our top story panel. They have been oh so patient tonight, and I want to get their take on something that caught my eye today, and that is a new CNN opinion research poll that shows just 25% of Americans think President George W. Bush has done a better job in office than his father, while 61% say the elder Mr. Bush, who served from 1989 to 1993, was the better chief executive officer. So how about that, Rachel? I guess that shouldn't surprise anybody based on the approval polls that we're looking at now?
I think this is less about Bush's dad and having some resurgence of popularity for Bush's dad than it is about Bush Jr. I think if you had put Warren G. Harding or Nixon or a piece of cheese or anything on the other side of who do you like better than George W. Bush, the cheese would win. At this point, anybody looks better than George W., even his dad.
I saw you wince when Rachel said that, Niger.
He hates cheese.
Do you like the father? Do you like the son? Who do you like better?
I like them both, and it's not unprecedented that they would have a different world view and different point of view. I think it's ironic that one of the reasons that George Bush was popular, of course, it was the economy stupid. It was also because a lot of people blamed him for not doing enough to support insurgent forces in Iraq after he had pulled Iraq back from Kuwait. And I think it's ironic now that there's this nostalgia. I'm sure that President Herbert Walker Bush is saying, where were you guys in 1992? November of 1992
sure.
when I needed you.
There really is an interesting reversal of fortune, isn't there not, when it comes to the issue of economy and how that played in both of these men's presidencies, and then the flip side of Iraq.
Sure.
The first President Bush came off Desert Storm with 92% approval ratings, and then it was the economy that killed him. And then the other way around, this has been switched for the son.
He doesn't go into Baghdad, and then he's heavily criticized for that, and then exactly the reverse happens here. I think it's very ironic.
I think it's a little bit weird after the elections that we got the cover of Newsweek that had Bush's dad with that kind of odd photo of Junior Bush flying out of his pocket, kind of. And we have this now, this CNN USA Today Gallup poll about who do you like better, Bush or his dad. I feel like the mainstream media in a lot of ways is really trying to find a Republican who they can say won the midterm elections. And so they don't want to say the Democrats won. They want to say that a Republican won, so they've decided we all voted for Bush's dad.
Well, that is a very unusual take on what the American public has just showed us.
Lord knows you cannot find any Democrats in the American media.
Why is the resurgence of Bush's dad? Why is the popularity cost?
I think they're trying to use the dad as a jab against the son. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think actually it's the other way around. I think that a lot of the people in the media are looking for a way to tweak the president a little bit, and they know he's extremely sensitive on the issue of his dad. I mean, he always has been. And
but come on, let's be perfectly fair here. You are seeing so many players that were active in the father's administration now coming back to try to reshape this presidency. So what does that tell us? What does that mean?
It tells us that the president saw the midterm elections. He is a wise person that is exercising options, but that his strategy, his overall strategy of supporting and forwarding democracy internationally as a geopolitical strategy, I think is still something that he believes strongly in. And I think history may or may not prove him right.
Or living in the shadow of his father by bringing back all of Dad's old players.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm sure it's a very difficult thing for him to accept psychologically either way, that he has to bring all these people back. He made a point of not doing that the first time around, and I think the fact that he has to now has to be very difficult for him.
Rachel, you get the last 14 seconds. Go, girl, go.
I think essentially what's happening is that Bush is letting the adults take over again, the way he's always done when he's in trouble. And it's got to be embarrassing for him, but we're probably better off as a country for it.
He's still the president.
Yeah, tiny little president flying out of his dad's pocket on the cover of Newsweek.
Ouch!
Got a little bit of power, though. Just a little bit of power, right? I think.
All right. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you all. Appreciate your dropping by before the holiday. That wraps it up from all of us here. Really appreciate your being with us tonight. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow night. Until then, have a great night. Larry King Live starts right now.